Hello, good evening. Oh, I didn't change my shirt. I just realized that now. How's it going, everyone? Oh man. Hey Eric, how's it going? Not hanging out with family this time? Just teasing. I'm glad you're here. Hey Katie, how are you? Driving home from your rehearsal. All right. That's something. Be safe out there. Hey country girl, how's it going? Welcome everyone. Glad you could all make it. Awkward pausing music right as I started talking. Well, today, this evening, headache. Oh, sorry, Katie. I have a little one, I guess, but I don't know. I'm doing okay. Smoke is so bad here. That's too bad. I just noticed that my phone reported that the air quality index is looking better. It's like 93, whatever that means. Whereas it was over 100 or so. You can see some fires from my place. Wow. Yeah, I saw a few wildfires flying in the other day, coming back from my trip to Indiana. Two things you may have noticed already. One, we're officially casted up. Stuck. Can't move. Pretty hard stuff. First cast I've ever worn. Because it's the first bone I've ever broken. Yeah, I think that's accurate. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. But the good news is that it should heal and it should be all right. Second thing you may have noticed. Oh, yeah, what do you think? You like that? Brand new headset. Completely wireless. It changes, I think it's a better seal over my ears, so it changes the way I sound to myself talking like this, but otherwise, it's really good. Air quality is 177 right now. Whoa. Upwards of 300. Oh, that's really bad. It was at only ever as high as like maybe 150 or something around here. That I've noticed at least. Yeah, no wires. Nothing holding me down. Nothing pulling on my neck. It does come with two wires. One for charging and one for a 3.5 millimeter jack, actually. So I can connect it to my Switch or any other device with a headphone jack, which is super cool. That was one of the things that I was like kind of hesitating about. Was I'd love it if it connected to my Switch. Yeah. First cast ever, I think. It's gonna be stinky. Not yet, but fingers restrained, just these two. My thumb and my ring and forefinger are pretty free. Not completely free, like I can't touch my fingers together unless I go all the way down there like that. And it hurts. It hurts to do that. Why the angle? Oh, like that? So, interesting story, actually. I wanted to just start from the beginning, right? So, got home from Indiana, which I will talk about. I will cover that. And finally went to see the orthopedic doctor. And got there. They got me in pretty quick. They decided that they wanted to take another set of x-rays because it had been like 9 days since my last one, since the one I took at urgent care. So went back there, took the x-rays. The x-ray technician was hilarious. He's telling me as we're walking back, he's like, you know, pre-COVID, I pretty much only saw guys with this kind of break, you know, only saw men with this kind of break in their hands. But once COVID started, I started seeing all sorts of women come in with it. I wonder if maybe their boyfriends and husbands were just pissing them off and they started punching everything. I was like, oh geez, I have no idea. But he was a really cool guy, just really talkative and funny guy. He apparently did x-rays for like an emergency room or something, and so like all of his patients would like scream because he's trying to manipulate their broken bones, like freshly broken bones, and they're just in lots of pain, so there's lots of screaming. And then he came to the orthopedic clinic. He's been doing that, I think he said, for like 2 years, maybe. No, maybe it was way shorter than that. Maybe like 2 months or weeks. I don't remember. And he's like, "Oh, your patients don't scream as much." I just thought they all screamed. So he was a funny guy. So we took the x-rays, went back to the room. The doctor came in, talked to me, and he was also just like a really fun guy, just really kind of, you know, laughing at things and just having a good time. Yeah, so he said this break, as I think I mentioned, is called the boxer's break, because when you're boxing, it's easy to break that pinky bone right there. And the reason for that is because these two fingers here, the pinky and the ring finger, come down and then they kind of come over a little bit across your hand, whereas these two, the pointer and the middle finger, pretty much go straight down from your hand to your wrist, and so they're very well reinforced. So that's why maybe you haven't heard, but always aim for these first two knuckles if you're gonna punch something, which I think I did. I just caught the hardwood. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, he told me if you're gonna punch something again, do it with those knuckles. So he showed me the break, and I'll show you on my good hand here, but you can see the knuckle there, right? Well, the knuckle is part of the bone that comes down here, down the hand, and when I punched the floor, it broke just the end of the knuckle, the end of the bone there, and it like sank down in, like, it broke and like sank down into my hand a little more. And so the doctor said one of two things: we can either go through surgery, right, put a pin in it, and it should look and feel, you know, good as new after it heals, of course, like 8 weeks worth of healing or something. He said, or we can just cast it up and just let it heal like it's going. And it may look a little different. Like I may have less of a defined knuckle on that finger. If you look at them both, you'll be like, oh yeah, I can see it. But otherwise, functionally, it should heal and just be fine, right? Oh yeah, Matt, learn how to punch the floor correctly, right? If you're gonna punch the floor, do it right. So yeah, he seemed really confident that unless I'm like top level pianist or professional athlete or something, you know, that requires really like stretching my hands like to the extreme and full like maximum dexterity and strength, there's not going to be any reason why I should have to get the surgery. He seemed very confident that there would be little to no pain going forward. Obviously there's always risk, right? No matter what you do. But risk in surgery as well. Did I get to choose the color? Yes, I did. Are you surprised? Obviously risk involved, you know, in everything. But he felt like the risk to just casting it up and leaving it like it is, was really, really low. So why is my headset beeping? There's plenty of battery. Yeah, worst case scenario, I don't really need this. Need to wear it. Realized it's a little crooked. Grab anything. Ugh. It's also really hot in these. All right. So where am I? Right. So doctor said this is good. I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. I don't really want surgery. Then the nurse came back in and we're going to wrap it up. And so like the urgent care nurse, you know, she put some padding and put the black sleeve around it. Then she put the first layer around it, and she bent my fingers down like this. And as she was doing it, she was telling me why. And she said, when your hand, or anything for that matter, is stuck, you know, in a position like this for an extended period of time, it will atrophy. And you have tendons on the top of your arm as well as the underside of your arm. And the tendons on the top are responsible for pulling open your hand, right? Like opening your hand like this. And the tendons here are responsible for closing your hand, right? So she said when I go to physical therapy afterward for the atrophied tendons, it's easier to grip things than it is to try and practice releasing things. And so they bent my fingers down to keep those tendons extended so that they don't like shrivel up and make it really, really hard to use. So instead, these ones here are gonna atrophy a little bit and get smaller, and then I have to practice. It's not making sense when I say it out loud, but that's the reason for it. Is that right? So they're bending it down. I don't know. It's not making sense in my head when I'm saying it out loud right now, but that was the reason. That was the logic for bending the fingers down, was because it's easier to practice gripping than it is to practice like releasing, right? Gosh, yeah, I had a friend that had a leg cast, and when he got it removed, his leg was twice as skinny as his other leg. Yeah. My sister-in-law, country girl, was telling me, had a cast around her foot, and they didn't like extend her foot all the way down, so her foot was up, I guess. I don't know, country girl, correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless of how it was, they did it wrong, and she was like in a significant amount of pain trying to stretch and move her ankle and her foot because of the way the tendons atrophied. And that's probably going to be the case no matter what you do, right? No matter if the fingers are down or if they're up. But if they're down, it makes it easier to practice gripping rather than releasing. That being said, this will only be on for about 3 weeks. I'll go back on the 7th of November, get it cut off. They'll take another x-ray to make sure it healed correctly. And then I'll probably go through a little bit of physical therapy. I don't imagine it'll be too much. But if we can get insurance to cover it, then I'm all for it. Have to wrap it in the shower? Yes, definitely do. And they clarified when I asked that it's not about the external shell here. It's all about the padding inside, right? They don't want that to get soaked, because when it does, it just stays soaked. A little wet is okay. They said I can use a hairdryer to dry it off, but this area here, especially where it's creased, if that gets super wet and stays wet, then I gotta go in, I'll cut it off, reapply it, and send me home again. So there you go. That's the whole story. They even gave me a little pad right there to go in between my fingers, because this finger here rubs all the time. Oh, and speaking of which, this is super weird. I didn't know this. So hold your hand up. I imagine your middle finger is probably your longest finger, right? Your ring finger may or may not be your second longest. But I realized when looking at this hand, I was thinking about typing and how I can type and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I can probably get a keyboard that's upright like this, and I can type like this instead of twisting like this, because my wrist bone, this one here, was hurting in the brace. And so I was like, oh, I can probably just get a keyboard like this. And then I was thinking about it. Look at where my fingers are. That's my ring finger, and that's my middle finger. See how long it is? So take your hand, hold it up like this, and when I bend, don't bend your knuckles right in the middle, bend them just at the hand, and look at, now my ring finger is longer than my middle finger. Does yours do that? See how much longer it is? Like, I think it's because of the way my hand closes. Maybe everyone's does this, but my hand closes like from here to here, right? It crosses my hand. It's super weird. I didn't I didn't know my hand did that. I didn't know my fingers changed length. But yeah, like this part of my hand like crosses in, and my ring finger is longer when I close it. Super weird. Not something I ever thought about before. Yeah. So I can't really type on my keyboard because none of my fingers can reach past my ring finger. If I go down to type on a key, I push whatever key my ring finger pushes, and then I eventually push the other two. So instead of typing, I mean, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, if you look at my hand, you can see the ring finger is a little lower than the middle finger. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, so instead of typing like this with, 2-3 fingers and my right hand, I basically type with my ring finger, hunt and peck with this hand while I type full hand with my right hand. It's super annoying. I often miss the space bar because this hand is responsible for half-ish spacebar presses. And so there's so many times where I'm typing and I look back up and I go, oh, there's like 2 or 3 words that have no space in between them. Sweet. Yeah, super weird stuff. What are you gonna do for gaming? That is a good question, Katie. So, 2 things on that subject, which we can cover now since we're talking about it. One, tonight, I wasn't planning on playing a game. We'll chat. I got a lot to talk about. A controller, so with the brace, a controller worked well, and I'll get into specifics with that. But with a cast, I don't know how I can show this. Like, if I rotate my hand quite a bit or something, like I can maybe do it, but it's just an odd angle. And if I'm moving my fingers to the extremes, I don't know, it's just not comfortable when my fingers like hit the edges of the cast, right? Because you can see the blue here, but there's also some blue back here and underneath the black part. And that's really hard and it hurts when I push my thumb against it. So I just can't like get super close to the buttons, to the joystick without like, being at an awkward angle or something. Like I could maybe play like this, but it's just my thumb doesn't have as much mobility as it used to in the brace. So yeah, tonight we're gonna hang out, we're gonna chat. I got a lot to talk about, and then we're gonna build. We're gonna I think they call it co-working. So there's a type of stream that some people do. I think they call it co-working. And the idea behind it is I live stream and I work on a hobby, whatever, something, sometimes actual work, like work. And then other people just work with me, or they chat. They just hang out and chat and stream, and we just hang out together, and I'm productive while also streaming. So that's what we're going to do. But what we're going to work on, some OBS scenes or something new. And that takes us into what we are planning to do for the next 3 weeks. So, consider this the official announcement. I'm going to take my work camera, this one over here, and my regular streaming camera, and I'm going to turn them around, face them that way. And I'm going to get a card table. See where this is going? I'm going to get a tripod and mount one of the cameras to the tripod. I'm going to point it straight down at the card table, on which we will be playing. I think Katie's got it. Some board games. Katie. Yes. So, what that means is I have to prepare. I have to, set up the webcams, stuff like that, get them pointed in the right direction. I got to move my lamp over there. We'll probably, for the next 3 weeks, just do streams over there. We won't be sitting here. Oh, I got to move my mic too. That's kind of annoying. I got to change my mic settings because right now my mic is set to be very focused, right, on me, and it's not gonna, it doesn't pick up a whole lot of ambient noise, so I have to adjust it to pick up more of the room audio so that you can hear me, whoever I'm playing with. If I'm playing with someone, cough, I'm so sorry you broke your hand and have to just play board games now. No, it's all good. It's I think it'll work out pretty well. So yeah, there's a lot of prep to do. I'm hoping to do some of that tonight while we chat and while we build those scenes. Then I have to kind of do a little cleaning back there, and we'll set up a card table. I'll chill on my couch, and yeah, I'll have a good time. The question though is, I presented this to Hillary, to Country Girl. What do I play? Right? I have a few ideas, but maybe I'll drop this in Discord too, so we can chat about it some more. Would you rather see me play like more complicated games that take a while to understand, and so then you can watch me explain them, talk about how to play them, and then actually play them? Or would you rather see games that are maybe more entry level, more new gamer friendly, right? So that you can then take those games and go and play them with your friends and family, right? This is a big thing that LTN is always talking about, is getting not family friendly necessarily games, but games that are low barrier to entry, right? So that your grandma who doesn't play games can easily get into a game, right? You can build those relationships with people and play games with people who don't normally play them. Yeah, because you have to find some games that are single player, right? I'm home. Welcome home, Eric. Glad you made it safely. Somewhat, Katie, I do have a couple games that are single player, and I can play those by myself, and just hang out by myself with all of you on stream. We need to back up to the bending middle and ring finger thing. What about it? Did you try it? Did you bend your hand? Right? So middle finger's longer. And now ring finger's longer. Right? That one there. Is yours the same? Or do you have some other commentary to provide? To offer. Yeah, it just has a lot to do with the way the hand bends. It was just super weird when I realized, oh shoot, I can't type anything because this finger is longer than the others, and I can't reach past it. Like, my pointer finger is almost as long, but partly because of the cast, right? The cast is in the way. Ellie's middle and ring finger are nearly the same length when they're extended or when they're closed. Country Girl. I vote would be more complicated. Yeah, and Country Girl suggested that since I start my stream at 9 on Tuesdays and 10 o'clock on Fridays, maybe on Fridays I do more complicated games, and on Tuesdays I do more like easier to get into games, right? I don't know this for sure, but I'm 99% sure it has to do with the fact that your middle and ring finger carpals can't move fully independent from one another. Which part is the carpals? Can't move fully independent from one another. Like, I know my pinky, you'll show me. Okay. My pinky obviously drags my ring finger down. My ring finger, you know, eventually drags my pinky down, if that's what you're talking about. And my middle finger drags out. I mean, they all kind of do it to an extent, right? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Where was I? Board games. Are sort of the very edge of your palm before the fingers begin. Right, yeah, so like where the webbing is in that area. Try this test. Eric's hand appears on stream. Right? I'll show you. Alright, fine. Jeez. I'm listening. Taps podium. Just text you a picture of the kid's hands. It's interesting to see the finger lengths. Hand flat on my desk. Okay, done. I mean, almost done. Yeah, Isaac's hand is more like mine. Okay, raise up your ring finger only. Wait, hand on desk like this, and we're raising finger like this, I imagine. Like that sort of thing. Spread your fingers out a bit. Okay. Yeah, so more like this, not like this, and not like this. Just kind of relaxed, right? Okay. Raise up your ring finger only. I mean, like, I can do that. That's about as far as it goes when it's on the desk. Right? Maybe mine... Now! Maybe mine is like Ellie's and I just always had my fingers cocked to the side. I don't know. But looking at my hand, my ring finger is longer than my pointer finger, just like Isaac's. I'm still waiting, Eric. Curl your middle finger under your palm and try to raise your ring finger only. I know. I wasn't rushing you. I was just letting you know I'm still paying attention. Now it goes like that. But why does the opposite work? Right? Why can I put my, like, if I put my middle finger down? Yeah, so I put my middle finger down and I can't really lift my, that hurts. I can't lift my ring finger up nearly as much as I could without it. But if I put any other finger down, what? Know these things? Well, anyway, thank you. That was fun. But there's something about the carpals below those two specific fingers. I mean, part of it, right? Like if I keep my hand open like this and then I close my hand, you can see how much lower my ring finger knuckle is than my middle finger. Keep it straight. Close. Right, you can see that. Partly because the way my hand closes, but also just the ring finger is naturally lower than the middle finger. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's interesting stuff. This is the best stream ever, by the way. Here, let me show you close up of my hand. It's a hand stream. Jeez. All right. Where were we at? We're talking about, right. So the rest of this stream, beyond talking about the oddities of my hand, of my hands, both of them, each are hard. Booba streamers? I don't know what that is. Is that a typo, or what's a booba streamer? Right. The other half of the stream will be, I've got a little more to talk about, some fun stories from LTNCon in Indiana. Okay. You mean the hot tub streamers? Sorak. Sorak is the kids stream version of Speak. Nice. We need to just invent our own language that is like kid-friendly stream language or something. I'll just Sorak about bobas all day long. Jeez. Right, not bobas, boobas. Sorry, I mispronounced that. Come on. Jeez. What was I? Right. So I've got more to talk about. Then we're gonna do a little bit of work on a scene. I gotta switch my camera over, and then we'll do a little bit of work on a scene, as well as there's one other thing. No, maybe that was it. I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's about it. Something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Oh yeah, and new headset. Nice and sleek wireless. No more cords. Got no strings to hold me down. Keeps beeping though. I don't know why it's beeping in my ears. It's connected. It's showing blue like it's connected. But just every like, I don't know, 10 minutes or whatever. Could read a book on stream. I hear those are taking off. Yeah. I mean, that's a thing, I guess. The Stormlight Archives that I bought a while back. You got no strings to hold you down, but in the creepy dark version, like the Age of Ultron trailer. Sure. We'll go with that. How you been, Eric? I feel like it's been a long time since we've talked. We were supposed to hang out last Saturday, and you decided to spend time with your parents instead of me. Which is fine. They did raise you after all. So I guess they can have that. Great story, man. Yeah, something like that. No. Let me switch to USB. You're okay? Good. Tell me more. There it goes and beeps again. I don't know what's happening. That is. All right. My assistant manager's quit. Why is USB device not recognized? Assistant manager is quitting to take a job where she will probably make more than me. Oh, I mean, good for her. Who were you supposed to hang out with Saturday? Because you were on the other side of the country. He and Swifty had a Chromecast in Discord. Yeah, Swifty brought a Chromecast to Indiana. I didn't know he was going to do that. So we connected that up, put Netflix up there. We both had an earbud in, and we used Discord on my phone to chat with Marin and Haven. And Eric was supposed to be there, but he wasn't, which is fine. It's fine. Really. Really. Really, it's fine. It's fine. Right? Stop bringing it up. Blow them off for parent time. What the heck? Why is this device not working? And why is this thing beeping? It's not low on battery. It's the last time I'll be seeing them for a while now. Yep. That's fair. I am definitely 100% just joshing you. Just go to the next song there. Why is it beeping? Battery shows full. I don't know what's happening. Just keeps beeping in my ears. Needs to stop. Please don't josh me. It's the worst name. Ooh. Hey. I have a brother who disagrees. Also, I met a lot of Joshes over the weekend. It was weird. There was a lot of Joshes. There were a lot of Matts as well, but a lot of Joshes. Be right back. Oh no, he agrees. We discussed it before. Okay, well, as long as he's on board, that's fine. These are... Why are you doing this? Just install drivers already. Just work. What if the beeping is your head, not the headphones? Maybe. Maybe. All right. So that's there. Okay. So let's see how we're going to do this. The question's going to be like, I can do just like, because the idea is going to be one camera will be facing straight down and the other one will be looking like across the board at me. So you'll be able to see me. It'll look straight that way. And you'll see across the board, you'll see me, you'll see whoever else I'm playing with, if anyone. And then the other one will come straight down and you'll see just the board and like my hands reaching across the screen, you know, to grab pieces and stuff. So we can easily just set up, boom, big camera for the game board and small camera for me and whoever. But the question is what position and what angle, and do we add borders like you see up here, right? The BB is a friends of mine along the way. You know, I don't have an answer for that. Ooh, game night stream? I mean, yeah, I could invite some people over if Country Girl says it's okay. If she's okay with people seeing our house in the state that it's in. I mean, that's the benefit of the stream like this. You only see what I show you. But we yeah, we have quite a bit of work to do still. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna start with getting audio. I say yes to a board. Oh, okay, for the stream. Yeah. Let's start with getting audio on a new scene. So let's go plus scene. We'll call it board game. Just call it board game, right? Why not? I wasn't expecting it to transition. Oh, heartburn sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That is the worst. Okay. So we're going to go back to that scene. Apparently it's going to transition. And I'm going to add audio first so that you can hear me. And then I'll get to the camera and we'll add that next. All right, here we go. Audio muted temporarily. Hello, can you hear me? We have audio. We are back with music. Now I need to add another scene. Riveting content. We don't need full audio. We need the razor. What do we need? Webcam scene. Okay. Ooh, hello. Oh, that one has the border there. So the idea with this is going to be shrunk down, you know, like that or whatever. And this will be me and whoever else is playing the game. And then we're going to, let's see. I need to... Nope, not that one. We need to add a new scene. Or hang on. No, let's just change this existing one. Oh. That one's not showing up. properties. How do I change? This one here. Okay, one moment. Audio going out for a second again. There we go. So we got my regular camera and now my work camera here as well. Which means we can switch back over here, add another scene. Boom. Go Razer Keo Pro. And we're going to transform, no, order. Move down. Something like that. So obviously these are going to be positioned slightly differently. So this one here will probably capture the top-down view, and this one here will be the side shot. So then the question is, should this camera have a border, or should this camera have a border, or both? I can add image, add existing, 16:9 border. Yeah, something like that. Only small one have a border? You think the big one should? Of course. You two can't agree on anything. Kidding. Something like, it would look like that, and then this one here would either sit in front of it entirely, or it could sit just off to the side. I could even add something else, right? Something else right above me here on the small camera on this one. And you know, use like this. I don't know which camera you're looking at. Use this space over here, the big space, for the board game area. Kind of zoom that in, you know, in the board game. And then I can use this space here above me. There it goes again. I swear the battery's dying, but it doesn't show that it is. And use this space over here for, I don't know, something else. I have no idea what. I think maybe what I'll do is actually remove this scene here and then just add display capture? No. Media source. Nope, not media source. So the big screen here, Eric, the one that you see right now, this is going to be the top down of the board game. This is where you'll see the pieces and everything. Video capture device, that's what I'm looking for. This one here will be a side shot, right? This will be looking across the board game so that you can see my face just like it is now, right? I'll be like over here, someone else will be over here if I'm playing with multiple people, or if I'm playing by myself, it'll just be me. But this will be the one you look at, the one I look at, the one I talk to you on, whereas this one here is just the board game. Yeah, then I think the big one should have a border, but not the small one. Okay, so like it is now. Or maybe just a really thin border on the small one. I don't know if I can make it thinner. Right? Like, that's kind of what it's going to look like. Do you want a line like this so the edge of one camera is really obvious? Are there other styles? I have other colors. I don't really have other styles. I went with kind of this black and white theme, and just kind of use that all over. I could find something else, and just throw it on there. But this is what I have, and this is what I've been using for the most part. And then this camera here and border could move anywhere I want it to, right? I could put it all the way up here in the corner or up here. Doesn't really matter. I don't think down here is a good position just because maybe we're getting lost in the weeds here. Yeah, maybe. Down here, I think my face gets covered on Twitch. So it's kind of weird. Even down here is maybe kind of a no-no. Midway or up is usually the better positions. Yes. Yeah, once I turn the cameras around and once I have, you know, card table set up, I can fine tune everything to get it in the best possible position. The only downside to having this border here is that, you know, it does cut off a little bit of the scene. So I can remove it entirely. So you get to see the full effect. You know, you get to see everything, as much of the board game as possible. And then put a little border around this one here so that you actually get to, you know, see the distinction between the two. I don't know. We can mess with it on Friday. But I am planning to stream a board game on Friday. So heads up, FYI, that is the plan. Regarding which board game I'm going to stream, maybe I'll do this each stream. I can like hold up 2 options and you all can chat about it in Discord. Figure out which game you want me to play next. Some of them are short, right? So I could play just a short game and play a couple different ones. Also, another question I had is, should I play the same game multiple times? Like Tapestry, for example, that's one that I'm definitely going to play. But there's an Automa version where I can play by myself or with another person and the Automa. And then if I get enough people, we can all play together without the Automa. So I could play that one multiple times, or I don't imagine most games would work well to play multiple times, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't need the Razer Keo Pro. Okay. Back here. Well, there we go. That's about it. Maybe I'll throw up my name up here and socials and stuff down at the bottom on the other scene. That'll be really easy to just slap together. Oh, my camera here is smaller. Interesting. I'm using this webcam scene, and you can see, I don't know if you can see just past the border on either side, but like just past it, it's all black, right? There's no like webcam hanging over. That's because the webcam is actually shrunk down a bit to fit just right there inside the border. So maybe I'll adjust the webcam a little bit, or if I don't put a webcam, or if I don't put a border on the webcam, I can keep it extended. I don't know. I can also do things like cut in the side. Adjust things and fine tune them a little bit. So we'll look into that on Friday. I got to do some cleaning back there, like I mentioned, and then get some stuff positioned and ready. Get my lamp moved over there so we have good lighting. Get my cameras turned around. Get one of them on a tripod. Yeah. So that brings us to New Albany and LTNCon. I want to show you some of the stuff I got, some of the swag I got. And then tell you a couple stories. I forgot my shirt. I was going to wear my LTNCon shirt on stream, but I forgot. You just get a plain blue V-neck, which is fine. I like this shirt, but I was going to wear the other one to show off. Here's my bag, my swag bag. See if I can fit all of this in one spot here. One of my favorite pieces of swag is this Love Thy Nerd water bottle. Is that the song? That's my mind. It must have been. It sounded like it was coming from outside of my headphones. Yeah, just your standard, like, you know, double-walled, vacuum-sealed water bottle, but it's super clean, right? I love how clean it looks with the white. So nice. Yeah, it is Polar Camel. I've never heard of the brand before, but it feels really nice quality. My LTN mug, which I will probably never drink out of because I don't drink hot coffee. But it'll look good on a desk or something. I guess. It came as part of a bundle, so I was like, yeah, why not? Got... Whoop. Can't really hold anything with my cast hand. Drink tea! LTN pins. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. LTNCon. Some free stickers. I don't know if you can read any of those. They're all worth it for this one here. That's the one I really wanted. It says Saint Chris of the Two Hernias. Did I get one of everything? Yes, I think so. It's making fun of the old LTN CEO. He had 2 hernias. I mean, that's about it. He had 2 hernias, so they made him a saint. Probably because of all the suffering he had to endure. Yeah, pretty weird stuff. Got some random stickers and other things from some of the different vendors. Those ones are less exciting. LTN stuff is the coolest. What else is in here? Some ads and stuff. Oh, this one's cool. Oh, well, that's straightforward. Know Thy Gamer. I don't know if anyone on stream would be interested in this, but they gave us a free copy. Oh yeah, God, there's so much post about pooping. It's pretty disturbing. They gave us a free copy of this book. My good friend Drew Dixon is one of the founders of LTN, and he wrote this book, Know Thy Gamer, A Parent's Guide to Video Games. So in it, he talks about fun and about video games and about comes at it from a Christian perspective, but just talks about like your kids and games and why it's okay and how to, you know, set healthy boundaries, and tries to really come at a lot of, if you're not familiar with Christian culture around video games, it's not great. Surprise. And so tries to like alleviate some of the fears and hysteria that some parents have around video games. Some Christian parents specifically have around video games. This song is weird. And then one of the last things here, Forge Gaming. I got this hat. It was a prize that I received for competing in a Smash Brothers tournament, Super Smash Brothers. I took 3rd place, which I am pretty proud of. And there's a lot of fun stories around that. So let's just get into it. So before I broke my hand, I signed up for one of their events. Thank you, Eric. Which was a Smash Brothers tournament. And among my group of friends, I am probably one of the better players, which is not saying a whole lot. And no offense to any of my friends, it speaks to the high skill cap of the game, right? None of us are very good, myself included. Shade, right? little backhand there. None of us are very good, comparatively at least. And but among them, I'm one of the better players. I tend to win most of the games we play. So going into this tournament, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to win because I know there's a lot of people out there that are way better than I am. So I'm going to enter. I'm just going to have fun, right? No big deal. We'll just hang out. We'll have some fun and play some Smash Bros. I enjoy Smash Bros. So we'll play and that'll be that. I didn't expect to place at all. So I get there and this Forge Gaming group has some monitors and switches set out. And they're letting people play Smash Bros or whatever, before the tournament starts. And, so we get into the room where the tournament's going to take place, and come to find out they were planning on a 16 bracket tournament with double elimination, which essentially means, if you're not familiar with how tournament brackets work, is you have the main bracket, and then you have a lower bracket, which if you lose your first match, you go into the lower bracket, and if you lose your second match, then you get knocked out. But if you win all of the lower bracket matches, then the winner of the lower brackets faces the winner of the upper brackets, and that's where you get your finals in the joining of those two brackets. So that was the original plan, but they had so many people sign up and so many people ask about signups that they were like, well, shoot, we can't do two brackets now. We'll just do, well, we can't do an upper and a lower bracket. We will instead do two brackets for 32 people. I was like, oh, great. That many more people that will probably kick my butt, right? Obviously, I've spoiled the ending for you all. You know how this ends. But some of the my practice with you paid off, right? Yeah. Some of the matches in between were just hilarious and retelling worthy. So they had a main TV and they had a secondary TV, and they had one of each bracket playing on either TV. And I was on the secondary TV, and fun story, I was the first match of the night. Okay. On top of that, I walk into the room and more than half of the room is filled with literal children. I'm about to get my butt whipped by children. Oh, geez. I don't know what I was thinking. I know kids like Smash Brothers, and I know kids are very good at Smash Brothers. And now I'm going to get my butt whooped by a bunch of kids. Great. Here we go. So I'm first up. I've got my controller. I mean, isn't that the story of gaming in general? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's part of the reason why I don't play multiplayer games. Competitive multiplayer games. No, I'm kidding. But also not. So I'm first up, and my opponent, I just heard his name said, spoken. I have no idea who it is. I go and I sit down and start connecting my controller, and he comes and he sits down next to me, and he is, luckily, maybe, I don't know, one of the older men in the room. There's a huge age gap between the oldest young person and the youngest old person. I don't know what it was, but I could just tell by looking around the room. There was not many in the middle. So he's younger than me, but we sit down, we start playing, we get into our first match, and the controllers are just broken. Something is wrong. Like, there's a 2-second delay in between inputs. So I run this way and I stop, and my character keeps going. And then he stops. Like, oh geez. So we reset the switch, get back in, it starts working just fine. Like, great. Drama already, right? So here we go. So first match, I'm playing Ganon, which if you watched the last stream, I played with Katie. Ganon was one of the primary characters that I played, Ganondorf. And he's a very slow character. He's a very hard-hitting character. And my opponent chooses Greninja, which, if you're unfamiliar with the name, it's a Pokemon. It's a very fast Pokemon. And here comes my anxiety again, right? Like, shoot, he's gonna run circles around me. He's gonna beat me senseless. Oh, geez. We start fighting, and I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty well, actually. And we're staying a little even. I'm a little ahead, and I get down to 2 lives. He's down to 1, and he starts messing me up, right? He starts countering all my big moves and stuff, and finally I get another, or he ends up killing one of my 2 lives, and I finally get a good hit on him, and I beat him, and it's a best of 1 for all the matches except for semi and final matches. So you lose your 1 match and you're out. You're done. So, hey, good game. Fist bump. We had a good time. And move on to the next match. And as the matches progress on the secondary TV, we find out that it is the drama TV. Because not only, well, 3 reasons. 1, a father and a son play next. against each other. Another match is a Ryan versus a Brian. So they've got a score to settle. And then eventually, toward the end of the evening, I'm playing against another Matt who also plays Ganondorf. So imagine the room in each of those, situations. It got a little excited. So as I'm playing on the secondary screen, another guy that I was chatting with, another older guy, is playing on the main screen. And this is such a tragic story. It made me so sad. He is playing against one of the kids, okay? And the match starts Nega Matt, right? The kid pauses the match right when it starts. And he runs over to the organizer. He's like, hey, can I run get my dad real quick? And he's like, yeah, sure, you got 30 seconds. So he runs out. His dad's one of the vendors. He's selling board games. He's like, Dad, you got to come watch my match. And he's like, okay, I'll be right there. And the kid runs back in. The dad doesn't come right in. And this older guy just pounds this kid. 3-0. He has 3 lives. The kid gets completely destroyed. The dad walks in after the match finishes. He didn't even get to see any of it. And the kid just is like so upset. And the dad's like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. It's over already. Well, at least I didn't see you lose. Dude, you're not helping. I couldn't believe he said that. Oh, I felt so bad for the kid. And I know the kid and I know the dad and we're friendly or whatever. And I just felt so bad for him. I'm such a dad, lol. And so then this older guy comes up and he's just like, oh, I feel so bad. He couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he just beat him so bad. He was like losing his mind. Dad of the year. Oh, geez. So we get down to the semi-final match, which I made it to. And I was just like completely out of myself, right? I couldn't believe that I'd made it that far. I beat several other players who were all really good. The father-son competition, the son actually won. And then I fought the son and I just crushed him. And so I got a little bit of flack from that. Jeez, it was funny. So then the semifinal match is me versus Nega Matt, right? And my friend Swifty, who's on stream sometimes, he tells me, dude, you play Ganondorf, he plays Ganondorf. I said before that, I think his Ganondorf is a little better than mine. Like, what am I going to do? Like, if we mirror match Ganon versus Ganon, I think he's going to win, right? And so Swifty's like, dude, you got to play Donkey Kong, right? Donkey Kong's got maybe a little extra speed. He's hard hitting just like Ganon. Play Donkey Kong. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like Ganon's my better, but all right, fine. I play Donkey Kong. I pick Donkey Kong. What does Nega Matt do? Pick Samus. Okay. He destroyed my Donkey Kong. I couldn't hardly touch him. I managed to take 1 or 2 lives off of him, but he won pretty handily. So I was like, all right, cool. That was fun. Now I have to play Ganon, right? So I play Ganon. What does Nega Matt do? He plays Ganon. Okay, here we go. So we've got a mirror match. Maybe speaking Swahili to me. Samus from the Metroid games. Don't you know Samus, bro? No, anyway. Samus is a ranged character and pretty quick, so it's hard for characters that are slow like Donkey Kong and Ganon to fight her. So I pick Ganon, he picks Ganon. You know the characters? Okay. I'm like, oh geez, here we go. So now we got a mirror match going. Start our second match. This is a best of 3. So that's why we're starting a second match, right? I have to win this, otherwise he just straight up wins the whole thing. regular Samus. 0 about what difference any of this makes. That's fine. Maybe I'll show you sometime. So yeah, regular Samus. He's playing Ganon now. I'm playing Ganon. We start fighting, and we're pretty evenly matched. I was surprised. It was really intense. Really intense. But I ended up beating him. I beat his Ganon, and I was pumped, right? And so because I won that match, standard tournament rules are I pick first. So I'm like, well, I have to pick Ganon again, right? So I pick Ganon. What does Negamat do? He picks Samus again. So here we go. Fighting again against Samus, and of course, he beat me. So he moved on to the finals. I moved to fight in the compete for third place. At which point I fought the guy who crushed that kid earlier, right? So he and I fight. We're both pretty friendly and you know, chatting up, and we have a good match. And I ended up beating him. It was a best of 3 as well, I think. And I beat him twice in a row. So he only got 2 matches out of me. The worst part about it, though, for me personally at least, those kids had it pretty bad. I watch Negamat fight this other guy. They're fighting for first place, right? Negamat plays Ganon 2 games in a row. And Negamat beats his opponent 2 games in a row. And I'm sitting here thinking, I beat his Ganon. I could have won. I could have taken first if he hadn't played Samus. Now, that being said, I beat his Ganon once, right? In 100 matches, maybe he beats me more than I beat him, but I don't have anything to go off of, right? I just have the 1 match, so I was a little frustrated because of that, but I took third. I was happy about that. We got our photo taken, whatever. It was fun. I had a great time. First place actually won a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, so that would have been fun, but otherwise, it was cool. There you go. That was a Smash Bros. Tournament. It is hot in here. I forgot one thing. Another piece of swag or something I won, kind of. At every LTNCon. Yeah, that hat. I got that hat. Every LTNCon, they do the Nerdies, which is a spin-off, their own version of the Dundies, if you're familiar with those. And we all know the story about how you and another old guy teamed up to humiliate a bunch of children. It was really interesting because only a couple of the kids like really took it hard. I feel like most of them had a good time, they had fun, they lost. And that was it. There was a couple of them that walked away and you were just like, ouch, that hurt. But yeah, it was, oh man, I even, so Katie, you'll remember this. In my third place match, in the final stock of the final game, I ran to the edge with Ganon, and my opponent like threw something at me and I avoided it, and so he ran in to get closer. I jumped off and I went back and I grabbed him and I pulled him off the edge with me and just suicided with him. It was such bad manners. I regretted doing it instantly, but it was it was, I don't know, it was funny, but then it immediately wasn't. Oh, you did the freaking cheat move? I did. I was up like I think it was up 1 stock. And so I was just like, well, here we go. Boom, got him and just dropped him. I would also do that. Okay, glad to know I'm not alone. Anyway, so the Nerdies that they do at LTN are like the Dundies from The Office, if you've ever seen it. But instead of a mug, we get trophies. So 1 up for us. And they do this to like highlight people that went above and beyond and helped out with LTNCon or LTN specifically, like over the over the course of the year or something. And unfortunately, mine broke a little bit in transit in the airplane, but I got this trophy. He is a weightlifter. One on each side. I just have to super glue them back on. A weightlifter, and it says Heavy Lifting Award to me, LTNCon 2022. And this is for some work that I did with them regarding their like restructuring that happened recently. Like a reevaluation of priorities and stuff like that. So yeah, that was fun. Got a little fun kind of joke trophy or whatever. I'll super glue the dumbbells or the weights back on the end. And I'll probably just mount it right up here. Right by the outlet. So seems like a good spot for it. Good stuff. What else? Played a lot of games. Played some interesting games. Played one called Scout. It is one of many games by this Japanese development company, I think. They're all translated into English and stuff, but Scout is a like carnival themed game. It's a really interesting concept. So you have a hand of cards. Hey, I'm sorry. Headache is getting worse, so going to bed. Hey, Katie, not a problem. Really hope you feel better. Drink some water. Get some Tylenol or something. Whatever's good for headaches. I don't know. I just take whatever country girl tells me to. Hopefully it's safe. No, yeah, hope you feel better. Have a great night. Oh, yeah, for sure. Hopefully you have some sort of air purifier that you can use. Or if you don't have one, you can get one. But you do not. That's not good. Well, I hope you can rest. Yeah, do that. Steal Brian's. He doesn't need it. What? 2? He hasn't offered you one yet? What a jerk. Can't believe him. Bad Brian indeed, right? Gonna have to talk to him. All right. Well, take care. Have a good night. Hope you feel better. We'll talk soon. Come back on Friday. We're gonna do a board game stream. Wait a minute. 9 to 11. Okay, we have like a half an hour left. Cool. I don't know if I have enough content to talk for another half hour, but yes, I'm excited too. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I can get everything set up and ready in that amount of time. But so yeah, playing this game Scout, you get dealt a hand of cards, and the unique thing about this is you cannot reorganize the cards at all. You pick them up and you fan them out, and that's the order you have to keep them in. Count to 1,000 in Japanese. That should fill at least 10 minutes. Ichi-ni-san, yon-go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju-ju, ichi-ju, ni-ju, yeah, maybe not. So you have to keep them in that order, right? The one thing you can do is you can put them back together, flip them upside down, and fan them out because they're double-sided, right? The top and the bottom are 2 different cards. And each one is numbered. So you have numbers 1 through 9. And when you fan them out, or if you flip them over and fan them out, you're hoping to get sets, doubles, triples, quads, etc., or runs. And your runs can be any size, single card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, but they all have to be in a row. And they can go either direction, right? So you can have a backwards run. That counts. I did not know this until I'd played several games, but and so then what you do is the first player puts down a card or multiple cards. The next person has to beat it. If they beat it, they take your cards and they add it to a points pile that they keep. I need air. So if they beat it, they do that. If they can't beat it, they have to scout, which is like scouting for talent, right? They have to take a card from either the beginning or the end of the cards you laid down. So if you laid down a run, they can't take it out of the middle because that would invalidate your run, right? And if you have a set of cards, I don't know, they just can't take it out of the middle, right? So so they have to take one of the ends off, and then that's their turn. They don't get to play. They have a special ability that lets them once per game scout and then play cards. And then they can take that card, flip it either direction, and put it anywhere in their hand that they want. And then that can like build a set or build a run for them that they can play later. And so, but also anytime you scout from someone, you have to pay them for taking their talent, right? From their carnival or whatever. So if I play a run of 2 and someone scouts from me, they pay me a point to take from me. And then the next person has to either play on top of me or scout my remaining card. And play proceeds like this until one person either runs out of cards or one person plays a set of cards that no one else can play on, right? Everyone scouts all the way around and no one plays on it. That ends the game. And then any cards that are in your hand are negative points. Any cards and points that people gave you are positive points. And so you have to, get as high a score as possible. The person with the highest score after everyone has been the first player wins the game. Really, really fun game. Really simple, straightforward game. Some interesting strategy to it. But one of the games I played, I was dealt a hand, opened it up, and I was like, oh my, like, I have to keep this hand. It doesn't matter what the upside down version is. I have to keep this. Close it up. Check anyway. Yep. Have to keep it. So I flip it over. I think I played 1 or 2, sets of cards. And then I was like, all right, everyone, here we go. I dropped 5 7s all in a row. I was dealt 5 7s in a row. I think I had a 6th one in there, but I ended up either playing it or it was too far separated from the rest. And the interesting thing about a set of quintuplet 7s or anything for that matter is when it comes to beating other cards, there are multiple like layers to it. So a single card, you just have to go a numerical value, right? If someone plays a 1, you play a 2, a 3, a 4, etc., all the way up to 10. I think I said 9 earlier. 10's the highest. If someone plays 2 cards, if it's a run, so like 1 2, you can beat it with a higher run. So a 2 3 is a higher run that beats it. Alternatively, any set with the same number of cards beats any run. So that means if I play a 1 2 and I have a pair of 1s, a 1 1, I can play that on the 1 2 and beat it. If someone plays a 9 10 and I play a 1 1, I still beat it, right? Doesn't matter what number it is. If it's a set, I beat it. But if it's a run, I have to be higher than the run. Alternatively, if you play more cards than the other person. So if they play a 1 2 and I play a 1 2 3, more cards beats the smaller number of cards, right? So there's multiple ways that you can beat other cards, but you have to remember that hierarchy when playing the cards. So by playing 5 7s, the only way someone could beat my hand is if they played 5 8s, 5 9s, 5 10s, or a run of 6 cards. Which I don't know if I ever saw a run of 6 cards. I saw plenty of runs of 5, but 6 was pretty rare. If never. Yeah, I don't remember, but so that was just crazy. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, but the other people at the table scouted from me, and I did not end the game with that. So someone played on top of it eventually, but yeah, it was ridiculous. One of the people I was playing with was so just dumbstruck that they just like took a picture of me to send to Country Girl, and because I was pretty smug. I was pretty happy with myself. and she was the one that dealt. She was the one that dealt the hand. So I blamed her, but that was pretty good. I also played a game called Moonrakers, which Moonrakers was interesting. It is a deck building card game. And I'm not usually a fan of deck builders, right? Deck building means you have a deck of cards that you draw from, you play those cards, and then you draw more cards for your next turn. Once you're out of cards, you shuffle your discard, you play from your deck again. The building part comes in play where you like buy or like beat, you know, bad guys or whatever, and then conscript them into your deck. To build your deck with these new cards, you try to flush out any like weak or useless cards, and you make your deck stronger and stronger and stronger, so that every single time you draw cards, you've got a good hand, right? And this one was sci-fi themed, so you play as these like spaceships, taking on missions and hiring crew and augmenting your spaceship with different parts. And obviously the theme helps, right? I like the theme, but something about the game just played a little better than most deck builders that I've played. So I had a lot of fun with that one. I actually only played like half of it, if that, because it overlapped with my Smash Bros tournament, so I bailed on him to go play that. Another fun game that I played was called Fire Tower. This one was crazy. So in Fire Tower, you play as a fire tower. And if you're unfamiliar with what a fire tower is, they are posted usually in like national parks or big forests, or, you know, areas of just woods, forests or whatever. And their job is to look out for fires. They keep an eye out for fires, and they report them to the firemen, to fire services, to go put out the fires, right? Not in Fire Tower. In Fire Tower, there is a fire in the middle of the board, and you try to adjust the wind, lay down like fire barricades, put out fire in certain places, but primarily spread the fire to the other 3 fire towers. Your job is to burn down the other fire towers, because why not, right? So Swifty and I played this game, and he ended up winning, but it was a lot of fun. And with 2 other players for a full game, it would be chaos, because the wind is always shifting. It's going every which direction. You're playing cards that just like cause explosions or trees to fall, or you're putting up barricades, or you're deploying your smoke jumpers to jump in and put out fire in certain areas. And yeah, there's expansions you can get that bring even more chaos, like lightning strikes or firestorms that just spread fire across the map, and it's intense. It was really hard to get off my back foot when Swifty, you know, came in for the kill. He pushed really hard, and I just didn't have the cards in my hand to do much of anything. But yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. He may or may not buy it. I think he's gonna ask for it for Christmas or something, so I'll have a chance to play it again, but it was indeed a fun game. And one of the groups there, one of the vendors there was Gilded Greylands, I think. So if you're looking for board games to buy, might I recommend buying from them. The father who didn't watch his son lose in Smash Brothers is one of the founders of that company, and pretty cool guy. And so yeah, if you're looking, I think they're getting their online store set up now, and they should have shipping available shortly, if not already. So yeah, if you're looking for board games, check out their store. GildedGreylands.com, I think is the name. I could probably look that up right now. Oh man, I don't know if it's AY. The Gilded Greyland. Yeah, .com. The Gilded Greyland, GRAYLAND.com. Go buy stuff from them. They got some pretty fun games. Ooh, I played a game called Rolling Realms. It is a roll and write game. Whoops. And if you're unfamiliar with roll and writes, sorry, they spelled gray wrong. Which one isn't gray with an A more of the European, United Kingdom, British way of spelling it? Or is it EY? I never remember which is which. I don't know what Greyland is from. Maybe this tells. According to Urban Dictionary, the term Greyland with an A, I don't know, one of them is, I'm pretty sure, comes from a term used in games, such as Risk, to refer to a territory or piece of land that trades hands between ownership so much everyone stops caring who owns it. When we considered that the residents of such a Greyland, Greylanders if you will, might end up feeling rejected and disregarded as well, we decided those outliers were exactly who we wanted to welcome into our space. The term gilded is an adjective we made up to capture the idea of bringing these Greylanders into their own place of belonging, a guild of game lovers who have each other's back. Thus, what we're saying in our name is that we're going into this unwanted space and to bring those in it together under one name, one community, and one goal, to support and engage one another in a hobby we all love. Oh, is it? Okay. Gray is mostly American with an A. That makes sense. Just remember A in gray, A in American. Gray with an E is everywhere else. Easy way to remember it there. American. That's right. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, this store that they're putting together is something else. It's 60,000 square feet, but they're only going to use like half of it for the near future. But they're planning to have like a small portion of it be their merchandise area. Love you even. All right. Love you too, man. I appreciate you. We're going to wrap it up here any minute now. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about except for going on about Gilded Greyland. Yeah, appreciate you, dude. Take care. Hope to see you and talk to you soon. Have a fun shower. All right, get some rest. Talk to you later. Bye. Yeah, so they're gonna have a small section for their merchandise area. Yes, me too. It doesn't really hurt, so I'm just waiting. Yeah, retail store. They're gonna have a gaming space. They're gonna have other entertainment options. I'll have a very fun shower. Excellent. Good. And then they have a third floor too. Wow. More detailed breakdown of their multi. Good night. Huh. Really cool stuff. Yeah, they've got a website up. They've got donation page because they need some help. They need a fire system put into that place before they can actually open. But they do have online online ordering, I think. Out of stock. Can't check that one. Out of stock. Can't check that one. In stock. Add to cart. They have... That doesn't say yet. I have to proceed to checkout. Yeah, they should have online... They should have shipping set up pretty soon. Got some really cool board game bags. BoardGameTables.com. But they make bags. Yeah, anyway. That about does it for tonight. Sorry there were no games this evening. It's kind of hard. I play a little bit of Minecraft, but I have to like angle my hand and like really be careful about what I'm doing. Especially because I'm in the outer ends right now, trying to avoid all those Endermen falling into the void. But, oh great. You again. Wait, you're not showing up on YouTube? Chat. Great. Blocked. Boom. Gone. Sweet deal. All right. That is it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out. My headset stopped beeping for the longest time and now it's beeping again. Yep, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for bearing with me as we just chilled this evening. We'll be back on Friday. Our stream schedule is still in our quote-unquote summer hours. So be sure to tune back in at 10 p.m. on Friday. We will be doing some board gaming. Haven't exactly decided what we will play. I'm thinking Tapestry because I really like Tapestry, and I'm familiar with how to play it with the Automa by myself. So we'll see. Country Girl may or may not play with us. So if she does, we may try something else other than Tapestry. And then, like was mentioned by Katie and or Eric, we might try and do a live board game stream. That would be really, really fun, but would also take the majority of my audience and put them here live with me. So it might be a relatively empty stream, but it might be a fun stream. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it. We'll plan something. We'll figure it out. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who dipped out early. Katie, Eric, Country Girl, if you're still here, feel free to pop into the Discord, join us. You can drop board game suggestions there as well as anything else. We've got an anime channel, anime weeb nerd channel. We've got a gaming channel for board games, video games, etc. General chat about all the things. Memes. I love memes so much. Yeah, we are gonna call it a night with that. Have a great evening, everyone. Love you all. Bye.